want people to be fearful about doing anything that they think they might have a passion for. Just take the chance. We only have this one life. Just take the chance.
Welcome to the Sharing Passion and Purpose podcast, a weekly podcast providing career and creative inspiration to help you build a purpose-filled life. If you're interested in tapping into your creative potential, pursuing a career with passion, and building on your biggest and best resource, yourself, please join me on this path. I'm your host, Nancy Moore, and I want you to know that I'm on this journey with you. So let's get started. Before we jump into this episode, I just wanted to remind you to be following Sharing Passion and Purpose on social media. On Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn, it's at Sharing Passion and Purpose. I will also share that the Conversations with Passion and Purpose will be visiting with an amazing lady in May. And if you are not following on social media, then you won't know about it. Tickets are limited. It's a great time to network and connect with other women, learn and grow. So join me on social media so you'll be in the loop. You can also go to sharingpassionandpurpose.com, sign up for Nancy's Nudge of Encouragement, and you'll be on my email list. And those people on the email list are also in the loop. So I appreciate you doing that. And now here's the episode. Christy Lindsay is a seasoned professional with a heart for giving back. Her new venture as the founder of Cedar and Lily Clothier will showcase high-quality boutique clothing, accessories, and makeup, all with a purpose in mind: to give back. A percentage of sales will always go back to the local community. And we're going to learn more about that in this discussion. Interestingly, Christy didn't know the first thing about opening a boutique, but that didn't stop her from doing her homework, literally, into how to start a business. She and I attended Oklahoma State University together, but she recently went back to school to learn the business side of things and smartly connected with others who have given her support, advice, and encouragement. Now she's ready to encourage women to look and feel their best while making sure to give back in big ways across the Tulsa community. The tagline of Cedar and Lily Clothier is exceptional clothes for extraordinary women. So I hope that you enjoy this conversation with Christy Lindsay. Okay, well, Christy, thank you so much for being here and talking with me. So I think we connected when I found out about your cool venture. Yes. That you are starting. And I thought, oh my gosh, I've got to learn more about that. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. It's Cedar and Lily Clothier.
Yes.
We're going to talk more about that, but welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me. It's very good to see you.
I always love seeing you. And it's funny, we're sorority sisters, and we have connected over the years with Chi-O stuff.
Uh-huh.
And so this is fun to kind of connect on this.
I agree. Too. I totally agree.
Yeah. So for those who don't know you, if you'll just share a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name's Christy Lindsay, and I live out in the country with my wonderful husband, John, and my two daughters are in college. I have Gracie, who is in Norman at OU, and Savannah, who is in Stillwater at OSU, and she's a senior, and Gracie's a sophomore. And I sell heart valves for a living, and I've done that for 21 years, and I have wonderful surgeons and nurses, and my customers are just incredible, and I've been so blessed to call on them for so long. And when my kids graduated from high school and I became an empty nester, I wanted to go back to school. That was like first on my list. It's like, I'm just going to do an online entrepreneurship graduate certificate, and I'm going to start going back to school. And I thought I wanted to start a business. I really wanted to do a nonprofit. I also started doing some career coaching with Becky Frank at Schnocky Turnbow, who is just a dear friend and confidant, and just such a great advocate to have when you're making transitions in life. She's just been absolutely amazing, and anyone that knows her will echo that same sentiment because she's just such a fabulous person. And I decided that I wanted to do something more. And I thought, okay, I'll do a nonprofit. And I looked into that, and Becky said, Christy, that's not what Tulsa needs, is another nonprofit, because we are very nonprofit heavy. She said, why don't you think about a way to connect people? And I started thinking about it, and then my next class comes along. It's how to launch a business in 100 days. And I'm going through all of the process of what am I going to select, because now it's not going to be a nonprofit. And I had been talking with a friend about Tulsa shopping and how that we are lacking in certain areas, and that we really needed another high-end shopping experience. And then at the same time, I learned about Jenks and the whole 10 district and all of the things going on down there. So I reached out to Shay Roach and Brian Wilkie, who own Freeform Marketing Analytics Company, and they have that collaborative with Lululemon and Free People. And she really shared the passion and the vision and really the analytics behind why it would be a successful spot for a store. So fast forward, I meet Josh McFarland, who is the developer of the buildings across the street, and we hit it off, and it just happened. And I really, I was praying about it, and I felt like it's what I was supposed to do, because I said, God, close the door if I'm not supposed to do this. And if you want me to do it, please let me know. Well, he just opened the floodgates, and everything kept happening just at this rapid pace. And here I am. This was in September, and I'm going to open in April. And we have done build out, and this place was a shell. And I went to market before I even signed the lease in October. That was a leap of faith, but Josh is a great man and has a great company, and I just, I trusted him, and it just worked out. But I just felt like that was my catalyst so that I could then go on and have a nonprofit element in the store. So every quarter I'm going to have a rotating nonprofit, and that rotating nonprofit will be for women and children. And sometimes they'll be collaborative, where there'll be more than one that kind of work together toward a common goal, whether it be women or children. And then a portion of everything that I sell will go towards that nonprofit. But it'll be more than that. It'll be collaborating with them and understanding how we can give back as a store, how I can connect people that come into that store with this organization, because they may learn something they didn't already know. And there might be a connection there that could change somebody's life that's one of my customers, right? That find a passion with this nonprofit that they didn't even know about. So I think that it's going to really expand and become something really amazing, but I'm just kind of letting it play out. But it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Now it's so neat that you decided to go back to school. I'm going to take us back there. So you decided to go back to school.
I went all over the place.
I love it. So just because there are women, so we're the same age, and right. There are women who are coming up on empty nest or are there at empty nest, and it can be scary. You got to have your own thing. And I will say, I know you are very philanthropic yourself, and you have a great job. And so you already had a lot going on. And so to add this on top of it.
It's my retirement plan.
I like it. I like that.
So, and that is the first thing I did was set up my relationship and the career coaching with Becky. That was the very first thing I did, because I knew that at some point in my life I wanted to make a change. I wanted to feed the creative outlet. I love clothes. I love shopping. I love to engage and meet all these amazing, wonderful women that are in Tulsa. There's so many neat people out there. Mm-hmm. And I just wanted something different. And that was the first thing. Mm-hmm. And then the second thing, going back to school. So I, again, fed that piece of myself that mm-hmm. wanted to learn more. I'm a lifelong learner. That's just who I am. Mm-hmm. And I think if you're going to do something, you got to learn about it. So this course that I took, How to Launch a Business in 100 Days at OSU, it took you, the book literally, first chapter. It took you through every single step of the way. And I think that is when anyone has a new venture that they want to embark on, you got to learn about it. You got to understand who you are and what your passion is and how you feel like you might fit in to whatever need you've identified. And then you have to collaborate your resources and understand what you need to do and research that topic And then you got to get a team together because you're not going to be good at everything. And I have an amazing team. Dory Young and Denise Koo, they've been with me for a really long time. And they are so freaking good and so talented. There's no way that, especially with the kind of job that I have on a day-to-day basis, there's no way that I could have done what I've done without them and their help. Mm-hmm. So we've really been a team, but I just think you just have to take bite-sized pieces of it. And anybody can do anything, but they do need to learn about it first.
That's really good advice. Because people, I think, sometimes try to jump in and maybe take on things that they don't fully understand. But you don't have to understand everything when you're talking about, getting a good team together. That helps with networking and also knowing you and your personality and who you would align well with, who you would work well with and who would support you and that kind of thing. So then tell me a little more about, you said you went and went on a buying trip. I know you went to New York, and
that was the second one, but yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yes. So I went to Dallas in October.
Okay.
And then, so you shop in October, you're shopping for spring.
Okay.
And then when I went to New York in September, Melanie went with me.
I love that.
Who is one of our sorority sisters.
Yeah.
And we had the best time. But in September, you're shopping for fall.
Did you love doing all this?
Yes.
Okay.
I loved it. It was so fun. And I'm a pretty quick decision maker. So, it's funny when you go to market. I didn't know any of this, right? I showed up when I went to the Fig in Dallas. I didn't know squat from Shinola. I had no idea. And when you talk to these different potential buyers, so my sales background helped me a lot. And the fact that I'm organized and I put something together, and so that when I went and I met these people, I was a little bit more polished and professional, and I wasn't just kind of this hokum yokum that comes up and says, "Hey, I'm opening up a store. Why don't you sell to me?"
Yeah.
And I think that once you do that and you meet these people, and then they put all these clothes, they say, "Okay, we don't have a store in your area, or you're within so many miles, whatever." And then they put all these things on a rack, and then you go in and you select. It's like, okay, yes, 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 no, no, yes, yes, yes. And you make your selection, you narrow it down, and then as you get closer and closer, it kind of becomes, they call it a capsule, so to speak, but it's like this grouping, and then that's that month, and then you go to the next month, and then you move on to the next designer. And it takes a while. When you're in New York, you're all over the place because you have to go to showrooms in addition to Coterie, which is their big buying. You go to the Javits Center, which is that huge, kind of like our convention center, but obviously 10 times bigger. Mm-hmm. But then a lot of people also have their individual showrooms in New York, so then you get to go to their individual store, and that's really cool too. It's so much fun. I'm having the time of my life, I will tell you that. It is absolutely a blast. And all these people I'm meeting, oh my gosh. And everybody's so willing to share their knowledge and to teach, and it's just such a neat thing. And I think most people are like that. Mm-hmm. Most people are good people. I just really believe that.
Mm-hmm. I do too. Yeah, especially when you give people the opportunity to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you're kind and engaging and respectful.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so then when you went with Melanie and you got this different stuff, tell me what's going to be in the store then. I don't know if you want to talk about certain lines or if you want to talk about designers, or if I'm thinking clothes, accessories.
Yeah.
Just tell me a little bit about what to expect, the store.
Okay. So there'll be formal wear, there'll be cocktail dresses, there'll be suiting, there'll be casual stuff. I've got like 4 different jean brands. There's some brands that people like Legence, which I think is a fabulous brand that everybody really resonates with. Generation Love, which is another great brand. Misa, Frame, No Piece of La Grama, which is they're a fantastic line. And I think they're based out of Venezuela. And Oscar Collection, which is great. And that's a Belgium company, and they're just amazing. And that's kind of a lot of monochromatics and silks and stretchable linens and beautiful fabrics. And it's a kind of more of a suiting line, but it's very interchangeable. You could wear it out to dinner, or you could wear it to the office. There's a lot of great interchangeable pieces in that line. I'll have some organic skincare. I have some different jewelry lines. I have a couple of different purse lines. No shoes.
Okay.
Shoes are tough.
Right.
You have to carry the entire lot, and I'm just not ready to embark on that yet. And there's a lot of great shoe stores out there. Gosh. Trying to think. Love Shack Fancy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for Love and Lemons. So anyway, there's a bunch. I mean, there's probably between 50 and 60 lines total.
So then it would be for women our age. It would be for our girls.
Absolutely. It's mothers and daughters.
Open.
Yeah. I tried to get a lot of lines that transcend through the ages, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because I don't dress my age, and I don't think most people do anymore. You dress in what you like.
Mm-hmm.
And so you don't want to feel like, okay, well, I'm 50, and so now that means I have to wear 50-year-old clothes. No way am I going to do that. I will never be that person.
Mm-hmm.
And most women aren't like that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't hit a certain age, it's like, well, I can't wear that anymore. So you want to be able to have all of those options available to you,
mm-hmm.
and to pick what you love.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's basically in my store, is I pick so many things I love. And there's a lot of things I love that I don't necessarily can wear, but I love it. And I know when I see it on another woman, I'm like, oh my gosh, that is so gorgeous. I can't wear that, but that's gorgeous. So I tried to do that, where it's not just clothing that I would wear, it's clothing that a lot of my friends would wear in all different body types. There is a brand called Ripley Raider that it's this fabulous stretchable fabric, and you can wear it with tennis shoes, with heels, and I think that that's going to be something that people might decide that they want to wear that instead of athleisure when they go out on a weekend, because they're going to lunch with a friend, they got to go grocery shopping, they're going all over, got to go to a soccer game, and it's very transitional. So I tried to just go the gambit. I tried to really have a store that has all kinds of stuff in it. There's some sleepwear, some stretchable silk sleepwear that's beautiful. There's all kinds of stuff.
Okay, I can't wait.
I know, it's very exciting.
I can tell you're lighting up, and it's fun because for me and my personality, I would be so overwhelmed doing something like that. That's not in my wheelhouse, but you have always been somebody, even when we were in college, you were just like a girl's girl. You supported the women you were around, and you were a big advocate, for yes. women. And so you are still that way. And
yes. That's true. I am. Because I think that there's a lot of times that women will tear each other down, and I hate that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that there's too much time spent on that. We don't need any more help in that category, so we just need to really focus on building each other up and really celebrating all of our differences and all the ways that we can come together and make the world a better place in some ways.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm with you on that.
One day at a time, one event at a time.
Yes. And even because we both have daughters, and so just, navigating that and trying to, do the best you can for raising a strong, independent mm-hmm. woman, which I've always thought you were strong and independent, even when we were 18 or 19. You were that's your personality to me.
Yes.
But,
Thank you.
You're welcome. But that's important, I think. So, are your girls involved in this at all, by the way?
Yes.
Okay. How are they involved?
Well, Savannah is going to be doing some social media. I hope Gracie too. I mean, Gracie is, she's in Norman, and Savannah is finishing out her senior year here in Tulsa. So she's like here. They're both, I think, going to spend some time working in the store this summer. They both give me advice, and Mom, that is awesome. That's so fabulous. Or that is really ugly, and do not pick that. But
keeping it real.
Yeah, they are. But they're so supportive of me in this, and they're so excited and sharing it with all their friends. And I'm really close with my daughter's friends, because a lot of them they've been friends with their whole life. And so they've been involved too, and I'm friends with my daughter's friends' moms. And so they've been involved. So it really has felt like a very family engaging thing, I mean, it's been very special.
This is neat when you talked about a creative outlet. So this is helping you fulfill that.
Yes.
But I just love the component of you giving back. And that's something that I think is going to resonate with so many people who are shopping, because it's like they're shopping, but they know a portion will go to a local place that will be helpful. So what is it about helping women and children for you? Because you specifically said women and children. So I was thinking, what is it? Like, what about that really resonates with you?
I guess because I have daughters, for one. And I feel like that women, I've been very involved with New Hope, which is a wonderful organization for kids whose parents have been incarcerated. And it's a fantastic organization. And a lot of those, if women are in prison, not always, but the majority of the time, it's as a result of a relationship, and they were almost an accessory, so to speak. And so they're in prison because of their circumstances and their relationships. And it's really tough. And it changes lives, and it's just really hard for these women to, when they get out of prison, to get jobs and to be successful, and they can't go work in some of the different fields that men can when they exit prison, and they've got kids to take care of, and a lot of times they're single moms, and so that's part of it too, just being so involved in that charity. But I just really feel like my heart goes out to them. I'm really engaged in mental health for women and girls. I think that just mental health in our schools right now is such a challenge. I do think I'll also do some things with homelessness, and that's really, that's not gender specific or age specific, right? I mean, every category is faced with that challenge. And so if there's an area that I'll cross over into, that I definitely want to help the homeless. But there's so many different things that I want to do, and so many different agencies that I'd like to support and help, that I hate to limit myself, but that is my focus, is women and kids. So I don't know if I answered that very well.
No, you did. I think that's wonderful. So what about, I always say, what's in a name? You could have named this boutique anything you wanted. So it's called Cedar and Lily Clothier. So I always like to find out, why? the why behind it.
Well, so I was sitting down picking a name, and it came pretty quick, actually. And I was looking at in LA and Dallas and Chicago and New York and all the different boutiques, and it was like something and something. They're always like, Alice and Olivia, or I don't know, I can't think of anything right now, but there's a lot of or plus, you'll see a lot of plus signs. And Ellen Orchid is a local boutique in town that if anybody hadn't gone to, I think they're really nice. It's a great boutique. And there's a lot of different shops that do that. So I started thinking, okay, I kind of like that. So I'm like, okay, so what do I want it to be? And so I thought, well, I live out in the country, and I love to garden. And I love the whole masculinity, like there's Cedar, and then it just fit. I mean, I wish I could say that it was just this big, huge aha moment, but I started going through pairings to see what I thought sounded good. And when I discovered that, I thought, well, it's feminine yet masculine, and women can be all of those things. They can be strong, and they can be kind and feminine, and that is one of the beautiful things about being female, is that you can be all of those things. And it just kind of happened. And then I realized, oh my gosh, that's my initials. Someone pointed that out to me after the fact. I know, I had no idea.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I was like, oh, it is. Ha, who knew? But anyway, it really wasn't any big epiphany. I can't say my great grandpa Cedar and my grandma Lily or anything like that.
Well, I like that. It's fun to have meaning to you and to understand Cedar. I like that, the little bit of masculinity, and then Lily. I think that's very sweet. So, and then Clothier, of course. So, yeah, that's perfect. Okay, Christy, I want to get some more details about Cedar and Lily. So you mentioned that your store is unique.
Yes.
And I'm wanting you to kind of comment on that, what you're going to offer at Cedar and Lily.
Okay. Well, so the store is pretty good size. And in the beginning I was thinking, I'll just sublet it and divide it up. And then I realized, no, I don't want to do that, because that's part of the benefit. That's part of its charm and what makes it different and unique to Tulsa. Because at 2,100 square feet, I decided I did not want to do a closed break room, I thought, what if I made it an open kitchen? And I did it in such a way where there's a big island and a means to do caterings and heat stuff up and all that kind of stuff. And I could do bridal showers, and I could do events, I could do board meetings, I could do girls' night out, I could do big trunk shows, and you could even do all kinds of stuff. I hired a young lady from Saks who has retail experience and also has done makeup for years. And I thought, oh my gosh, I could have her do makeup, and I have a stylist. And if I did a bridal shower, I'm just kind of envisioning that I could have a stylist talk about all of the different things associated with that whole bridal experience and all the different things you go to and the bachelorette party, all that stuff. And she could talk to the girls. I could have the makeup artist. I could get somebody to come in and do pedicures. I mean, it's a huge space. And the center of it is open, and I kept it open enough that I could move things out of the way to put different tables. And I have a lot of different nice tables in there. There's a lot of furniture. There's couches and chairs and benches and that could be used for seating. So there's just a lot of space. So that lends itself to a perfect venue to rent out. So that I think is different. And the fact that it's got this kitchen, and the kitchen's nice. I've got gorgeous tile on the wall, and I've got chandeliers in the store. And I mean, it's just a beautiful, beautiful space to be in. And I wanted someone to walk in and feel like they stepped into another city and that it was just someplace they really enjoyed being. And I wanted it to look good and to smell good. I'm going to have essential oils going. And if anybody out there knows me, they know I'm crazy with stuff like that. And I just wanted it to be a great experience, very customer focused. And people are going to really talk to you about what you like and your sizing, and they're going to enter it into a database if you want us to, of course. And so when you come in, we already know. We know about your trip you've got upcoming. We know you're going on vacation or you've got a big event coming up. We know what styles you like. We know what sizes you are in that particular style because it's all very different. We know the colors that you love to wear. And if you've had your colors done, that would be put into the system. So you don't have to recreate the wheel every time you come in. And I'm hoping that you love all of the associates, but you may have one in particular that you really like. And you may decide that you want to set up on Tuesday, which is our private shopping day. So you may want to set up with one of the sales associates on that particular day. And I also will have a stylist that will be available to set up appointments with. And so she'll have that option to come in and work with different clients as well. So it's going to be uber customer focused, but also a really neat venue.
I think that's brilliant because it's hard to find great places, and you've got all of this combined in one situation. And so to be able to host bridal parties or bachelorette parties or whatever the case may be, I think this will be wonderful.
They may not want to go there for a bachelorette party, but maybe to start, who knows? There's a great restaurant on either side of me. And there's a steakhouse, and there's piano bar going in down the street, and Maggie's is on the other side. Yeah, birthdays. I think I don't know. I'm sorry that I'm thinking about my bachelorette party, and I don't think I would have wanted to go there.
That's funny.
But at any rate, I think it will be a really neat place to do a lot of different things like that. Something different.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait to see the space. Okay, so tell us actually where the space is.
It's Downtown Jenks.
Okay.
And it faces Main Street. I actually have two entrances. I have a courtyard entrance, which I literally could, if I could throw a baseball really far, I could throw a baseball and hit Jenks High School. That's the courtyard, the back entrance. And the front entrance is right off of Main Street. And Maggie's is that, there's a side street right there. And Maggie's is on the other side of that side street. And right next to me is City Hall Steaks. And they should be, I think they're going to be done this summer. I don't know. And then on the other side of me is the Lodge, I think it's Pub and Eatery. And that should be done, I think, also this summer. So when those go in, my hours will be later on a couple of different nights during the week. But right now, I'll be open Tuesday for private appointments. And then Wednesday through Saturday, 11 to 6, until those restaurants open. And then we'll reassess. And then I'm closed Sunday and Monday.
Okay. So we're talking about being open. You're not quite open yet. So
No.
we're recording this, and I'm even going to air it prior to you opening. So if you'll share when you're opening.
April 5th and 6th is grand opening. So that's Friday, Saturday. It's the weekend after Easter.
Okay. That's perfect. Yeah, that's perfect timing. Okay. So again, Downtown Jenks.
Yes.
And that area is going to be hopping. I mean, I used to live in Jenks, and there was Miss McGillicuddy's and not a lot of really great shopping like this. And I love that when you're saying, you know, people go in, maybe they won't even feel like they're in Jenks or in Tulsa because you are but you're bringing it here, which is phenomenal. So I'm really excited about it.
I know. I'm excited. I hope there's other stores and boutiques that go in down there, because it could be a really, you know, a neat shopping destination. Well, and they've got the outlet mall that's going in half a mile down the road, and they've got the 2 pickleball. There's Camp Pickle and In a Pickle that's going in on the river. And I don't know, I think there's like 4 dozen different commercial projects that are going on in Downtown Jenks. So, I mean, this summer it'll be different because there'll be 3 places that weren't there already. Well, 4, because the piano bar's not quite open yet. But then once we get into fall and next year, it's going to look completely different.
Mm-hmm. Exciting. Growth.
It'll be fun.
Progress.
Yeah. It'll be a fun place to be.
Awesome. Okay. So I might ask you this real quick, and then I'm going to wrap up. So what are you hoping to spark in women with your boutique?
Well, really, I think if there was anything I want women to know is that you don't have to know everything to follow a dream or a passion. I didn't know squat, and I thought, well, I'm just going to learn. And I bought a book, and I took a class, and I started talking with people and having lunch and asking questions. And so many people that are out doing this kind of thing, whatever the field is, if they love it, they don't mind sharing it. So you can learn from so many other people out there that have gone before you, and you don't have to know everything. And don't be afraid. You know, just take it one step at a time, and don't be afraid. And don't be afraid to look stupid. Don't be afraid to not know the answer. And it's going to be okay as long as you have a plan and have a team and have a vision and understand what it is you want to do. But just make sure you've got the resources and the information you need and a way to get it. Okay. So I just
very smart.
I don't want people to be fearful about doing anything that they think they might have a passion for.
Yeah.
Just take the chance. We only have this one life. Just take the chance.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I agree. Okay, so I usually wrap up with asking or mentioning my theme. It's growing more in 2024. So I feel like you're growing because you're opening this new business.
Yes.
You know, and you have done the legwork and you've networked and you know you've done a lot to open it up. But is there anything else, either personally or professionally, that you are looking to grow in 2024 that you'd like to share?
I'm always growing. I want to be a better wife to my husband. I want to be a better mom to my girls, and a daughter to my parents, and sister to my brother, and friend to my friends. You know, you want to be better at all of those things. I do want to get, you know, sometimes when I'm frustrated or I'm high stress, I can get a little cranky and snippy, and I need to, and not have the diplomacy that I should. And I think I need to step back and think about it. Think about what I'm going to say and how what I'm going to say is going to affect the other person, because I'm pretty blunt and forward. So you always know where I'm coming from.
I think that's an asset for you. I've always appreciated that about you. There's not anything that you would wonder. Like, you're very direct, and I think that's great.
But sometimes people struggle with that a little bit. There are times that my husband is the best. He is so good at that, and he never gets ruffled, And even when he's in a frustrating situation, he never gets upset at anybody. And he's just so even keel, and he always knows the right thing to say. And I admire that so much, and I'd love to be that person. So if there's an area that I feel like I need to grow, that is it. Along with all those other things I told you. I have lots of growing to do.
I have lots of growing to do too. I get that. Well, this has been so much fun visiting with you, and I'm really excited and so happy for you embarking on this new adventure. I know it's going to be a lot because you still have your full-time job that you love, but I'm so happy that you'll have this creative outlet, and it's going to be a blessing to people in our community too. So I think that's wonderful.
Thank you very much for having me. I really enjoyed it, Nancy.
Okay, everybody, that's a wrap on this week's episode. I want to thank you for listening to the Sharing Passion and Purpose podcast. It means the world to me, and I'd love to connect with you. Please follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn at Sharing Passion and Purpose, and Twitter at Passion Sharing. Also, if you like this podcast, it would mean a lot to me for you to subscribe, rate, and review it. And as always, all my show notes will be available on my website, sharingpassionandpurpose.com.